Hey, everybody. Welcome to the second official flock-free bird control podcast. My guest today is my friend and partner, Paul Rosario. Welcome to our podcast.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
The podcast is brought to you today by us. It's produced by Rob Wilson, and we are coming live with a studio audience from the Go Big Freehold, New Jersey studios. So what do you think about doing a podcast? That's kind of
Hey,
weird.
this is my first podcast. I'm really excited. We have this large crowd out here.
I know.
We're gonna have a good time.
There we go. A live studio audience. There you
Absolutely.
go. All right. So we've been partners for a long time, right?
Yes, we have.
And we've come to so many different things. When do you think our magic mic moment was as a company? We started changing. I have a thought in my head. What was yours?
I think the most important part of our whole company is when we met together. That was years ago at the soccer field. You know, my daughter and Maria, your daughter. And it was like a magical moment, actually. We just got together and that was the beginning of everything.
Oh, yeah.
We started doing all different types of mechanical work, maintenance work, and it just led to bird control.
Yeah.
Really great.
I remember, I don't know if I talked you into it or you volunteered to buy a big old broom sweeper truck that kept breaking down every 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
I know.
Because we didn't have the facility to maintain it. So we ended up getting rid of that. And the guy got a call one day from Tom.
Yeah.
We have to go clean up pigeon feces.
Yeah.
And,
So Flock, to go back a little bit for some new listeners, Flock Free started out as TK Sweeping, and TK Sweeping slowly morphed into a bird control company by total accident.
Yeah.
You know, we would just do anything for a buck back in the day because you didn't make a lot of money cleaning parking lots. You made money with the ancillary work. So I remember calling you the one day, say, hey, we got birds flying into a Home Depot. We got to get them out.
Right.
So I think you put a net up and cleaned some
We did some exclusion work and cleaned it up. And then I think you spoke with one of the Home Depot reps and they said, can you do this all over the country?
Yeah,
And I said, absolutely.
It started happening very slowly. We were in one job after another, and then eventually it got to the point where we had a meeting in Atlanta, and I was already attending meetings once in a while there because of the sweeping part of it. But we had a conversation. I said, we really don't know what we're doing, but we're going to go out and buy one of everything from everybody and try it and see what happens. But the moment that I think we really started to go in a different direction than just being, gellers or netting guys is when we discovered the MA product, the methylanthrenolate as a bird control product. That started all the problems. I mean, all the opportunities and problems. Yeah. We met a lot of characters throughout our business life.
Yes, we did.
That's one of the things I think we learned about is we met so many crazy guys that would just try to sell you stuff, whether it worked or not. They had their own spiel and story, and then we would see for ourselves, this guy's crazy. It doesn't work.
Well, that's when we came up with our own ideas, our own ways of doing things, and we saw all the things that they were doing wrong, and we figured out this is what we need to do, especially with the hazing products that we have.
Oh, yeah. I remember being so excited about the idea of this magical product that you put in the air and the birds breathe it in and fly away. And I was so heartbroken. I remember Teresa and I went to go take a look at I think it was the Edison Home Depot. I remember driving there with Teresa, my wife, and we were going underneath one of the canopies, and we have a hazer that we set up right underneath the sleeping pigeon, and the pigeon could care less. And I said, we have a problem. I called you. I said, Paul, we got a problem. This guy from Australia that helped us set up the system don't know what he's talking about.
Right.
And then we had to build our own stuff. And we had to go back to Home Depot, remember, and tell them it don't work. We got to fix it.
This gentleman had a product that ran tubes, and Tom and I were on the roof one day, and we realized that, hey, this haze, what they so-called haze, is only coming out 20, 30 feet.
It turned back into liquid.
So we came up with our own ideas and ways of doing the hazing and creating our own machine, our patented machine, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Right now, if you ChatGPT our product, our hazing product, in the world, we're considered the best in the world.
That's right.
With our Tweetzilla and our Moby.
Well, I consider us the best in the world too.
Absolutely. But, come on. ChatGPT. So
either that or we got them fooled big time, right?
No, we don't.
Now,
We do.
We actually have a patent on our hazers. It still holds up today. They still work. And it turns out that we thought that was going to be the big thing. And we don't use the hazers that often. We have so many other things to do now. That's what I think it was the big stepping stone for us, because it got us thinking outside the box. And
Right. We have multiple approaches to bird control, which is great because there's no silver bullet, as we know.
Yeah, and
so we have to do multiple things.
And that's what held us back. When we first started doing bird work, people would make fun of me, like this TK sweeping guy. He's a parking lot sweeper. How's he doing bird control work? Who's his partner? What? And because we had slightly different ideas, nobody wanted to deal with us.
Right,
for the longest time.
But slowly,
And here we are on a podcast
today. And throughout the whole world now, we're actually known. We get a lot of calls throughout the country and throughout the whole world for bird control. When no one can solve a problem, who do they call?
You know what? A lot of times I walk down the street and people come up to me and say, "You're Paul Rosario's partner, right?" I said, I am his partner. So yeah, I've been having a great time with it. I mean, it gets a little intense sometimes because, we're both a little crazy in our own ways, but it's been a fun ride so far.
A lot of fun.
And I think the best is yet to come,
Yeah, we have a long way to go. We're on the right track. We have a great crew. We have a great staff.
Yeah.
At Flock Free.
Couldn't do it without the girls, right? On the office.
Great admin staff. They follow up. They can be a little crazy, though.
Well, I've learned over the years not to answer too many emails. If I want to sound smart, let somebody in the office answer the emails.
Yeah, the one that's...
I may participate a little bit in those, but that's about it, So I did, every podcast, I want to tell a bird joke. So I got a bird joke for you. You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Why do seagulls live in the ocean?
Why do seagulls live in the ocean?
Time's up.
See?
If they lived in the bay, they'd be bagels. There you go. All right. Okay, there we go.
I was going into the sea.
Feel free to use that. The audience could have laughed a little harder, but that's okay. There we go. That's better. That's better. So now this second half of our bird control journey, what do you want to focus on? What do you think we should do as a company? What's our next step?
Right now, we're focused on a lot of selling product and helping other companies do bird control. We're actually creating a lot of different products that we have right now, tank mix and this showing people how to properly approach bird control. Besides hazing and netting and all that other typical stuff that you use for bird control.
Yeah, I think what I enjoy now a lot is teaching people that they can actually do bird control. The history of bird control in our country has been that people have avoided it because it's difficult to do. And quite frankly, everybody's been doing the same thing that they were doing back in the 1950s.
It is difficult. Like you take a netting job, a lot of people don't have the expertise to do that. It's not cost effective. Sometimes it's very costly. So we come in and we have different approaches to bird control where we can save the customer a lot of money and get the same results.
We get the same results for maybe 40% of the cost.
Right.
And it's funny because we were just doing a little work down in the Caribbean, and you know what they refer to bird work down there as? Yeah. The bad name work. Because every time they do it, they get a bad name because they can't get it right. So I got a big kick out of that,
Yeah, one of our main things is getting it right, the finished product. So, and from our first job that we've ever done, we've always followed up and made sure that the job was done correctly, because we never wanted to go back, because that was the most difficult thing.
Well, yeah, if you get on a lift and don't do it right, you got to go back and pay for that lift and do the work.
It made sure that it was done correctly.
Well, the interesting part for me, too, is to see how the business has changed. So for many years, just like with Home Depot and Lowe's, they build a store they could build as fast as they could build a store. They build a store because they can write it off and get the tax benefits and grow the business. So with these pest control companies, you see one buying another one, buying another one, buying another one. And their whole business is built on running routes. So the more routes they have, the better. But now they're all competing for the same thing. So if we help a customer put in a quote for netting, they have 5 companies bidding on the same job, and the guy that is $5 cheaper gets the job. So we're introducing ways of doing bird control that's cheaper and teaching them they can go in and not disrupt their routes. They can actually do bird control as part of a route system, which is why I think we're having the success we're having now.
Exactly.
Nobody takes that approach, but
no one does.
We're going to change that. We're changing it now.
Yes, we are.
So,
yeah, we're having a good time doing it as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun.
And we actually got into some other things too. Can you believe it? We're doing mosquito control now?
Yep.
We're selling all kinds of other products. We have an Amazon business now.
Our mosquito product is great. I use it a lot when I go out in the boat, because I'm always getting bit by not only flies, but a lot of mosquitoes and ticks. And it's so safe that with the natural products that we have in there, I could rub it on my dogs.
Yeah.
and no effect whatsoever. They have no ticks on them at all.
Yeah, and that's what's fun too. About the one good thing about getting a little older is you know what you know. So when we talk about our products, that people, we don't have to exaggerate. We just tell people the truth. It is what it is. Hey, you want to buy it, buy it. You don't, you don't. This is what you're going to get. This is how it works. So if you want to buy something, you call Flock Free, you're going to get real answers, honest answers. You may not always like the answers, but we're only going to sell you what you need, which is great, right?
Yeah.
When you're young, you're so gung-ho to try to be the best. But as you get older, you realize, hey, just tell people the truth and you're going to get where you want to get, you know?
Right.
So
The product sells itself. I mean, my kids go out there in the lagoons and with the kayaks, and they're in the marsh, or they're either fishing or crabbing. And the first thing they ask is for that stuff to put on the foam product we have.
Mm-hmm.
And they rub it on, and they love it. They love it.
I also think it's pretty cool, all the countries we've been to over the years.
Oh my God, Dubai was the best.
And Dubai was cool. You've been, where did you do the?
You went to next to Dubai. What's
I went to Abu Dhabi. I've been all over too. Yeah, you did the chorus place in Jamaica, some places, all right?
in the Bahamas?
In the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Didn't you almost get arrested in the Bahamas?
Not that time.
Or was that Canada?
That was Canada.
Oh, Canada. We won't go into that. We'll save that for another podcast when things get slow. But yeah, we had a close call there. We almost lost them.
Yeah.
The Canadians.
Canadians locked me up.
Yeah. And you're not the first Flock Free employee to get stopped at the border.
Right.
It's so funny. Canada's so strict about us getting in there. But yet I think we've been, if I count the countries, it's been, I remember going on
You went to Saudi Arabia.
not Saudi Arabia. I went to, we went to Jamaica. We went to some resort.
But didn't you go see the palace?
Oh, that was in Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah,
Dubai.
What I actually went to a palace where the Sultan was a real Sultan guy. He owned the place.
This is a great story.
Yeah, we got in the car. They hand me a gallon of water, and I said, I don't drink that much water today, so you're going to drink every bit of it. So we get in the car, we're driving, and we come across this wrought iron fence in the middle of the desert, and we're just driving, and for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, this wrought iron fence is in the middle of the desert, just gone. So I'm asking the driver, I said, what is this fence? I said, this is the Sultan's, this is his property. And it's like, brick wall with is ornate metal on it. It went for miles. And we get, we pull into the front entrance, and they come out with their guns and their mirrors underneath the cars and stuff. And we get inside, and we were supposed to just get on an exterior elevator and go on the roof. So as luck would have it, the elevator was broke. So we had to go in the house and tell them, don't touch nothing. Whatever you do, don't touch anything. Look where you go. So it's like the Alibaba place. There's blankets for curtains. It was like just what you'd see, You look waiting for a flying carpet to go by. So we climb up the steps, we go around a corner, and the guy goes, whatever you do, don't open that door. And I said, well, why can't I'm not going to open the door because you warned me not to touch anything, but why can't I open the door? Because there's a tiger in there. I said, get out of here, tiger. There's no way. Guy opens the door, a big, gigantic tiger sitting there. He goes, you want to go inside and pet him? I said,
Go over the hangover.
But that's the kind of crazy place it was. You get on the roof, they had giraffes, and it had a zoo out there. That's what it was.
Wow, that's great.
And the guy was worried about a couple birds pooping on his palace.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It didn't compute with me. And then I asked some questions. The guy's only there maybe once every 3 years, but he has a full staff. It's just a different world over. It was very interesting to see.
But when they have a bird problem, who do they call?
That's right. That's right. We were over there. We were over there. So that's been fun. We got to go on some vacations that were work vacations and stuff, The trade shows that we go to every year, we get to see everybody. That's coming up in October.
Yep.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We got a couple new products to introduce this year at October. We're not going to talk about it today because it's a big reveal for October. But we're going to change some things, change the dynamic of bird control one more time at least.
Yeah, we have those systems running right now. They're doing pretty good.
So far, so good. Yeah, we got to do some work in New York City, which is always crazy different, right?
Yeah.
That's a different environment too. So we get to do work now. We get to do work in almost every state in the union with different companies. They call us every day, and they send us pictures, photographs, and we kind of help them diagnose what to do, what products they're going to use, and if they've never done bird work.
We always have what feels easy for us, you and I, to other people. It's not.
No, I know.
I talk about this all the time, and it can get frustrating at times. Because you're trying to comprehend something for them, but they don't get it for some reason. I don't know.
Well, so what I always think is funny is that we know our thing, right? So for us, our thing is easy. Our thing is birds. So it's pretty simple. They have to know everything. Pest control guys have to know every kind of bug, every kind of animal. They are really smart people. They just don't do bird work. So they pick it up pretty quick. you know? And the one thing I learned recently, which was a real eye opener for me, and it took me a while to figure this out, is that, you know, when pest control guys go out and spray things, they're spraying dangerous chemicals, you know, so they have to be very careful where they spray. They can't have overspray. They can't contaminate different parts of the building and so on. And when we spray our tank mix, which is all organic and natural, and when we spray the tank mix, there's something called Invisidy, and as you know,
Right.
It makes everything look purple to the birds. So we want to spray everywhere. We want to spray the grass, the trees.
Contaminate everything.
We want to contaminate it. So when I talk to pest control guys, and I tell them, you got to take the tank mix and go and
Maybe that's
contaminate it.
thinking that.
And they're like really careful where they spray it, you know.
Terms.
And Teresa and I were having a conversation one day, again, my wife, and I realized, I have to tell these guys it's okay. This goes against everything they're taught, all the classes they
I
take.
never thought about that. It's true.
Yeah, it was. So now every time I come across a group of people or talk to a pest control guy, I say, look, unlike what you're used to doing, spray that crap everywhere.
Right, exactly.
We want everything to look purple and chase the birds away.
Right.
But it's different. It's just a totally different
I
approach.
try to explain to them about the Invisidy, you know, try and make it simple. I think it's simple, but I tell them, you know, we see in 3 spectrums of light, they see in 4. To them, the product looks about purple on the ground all over. So it's a visual to them after they feel the pain of whatever we installed.
Well, that's why we're having a little bit of a second wind here, is because, like we talked about before, all these pest control companies across the board are competing for the same space.
Right.
The one space that there's still some discrepancy between the companies is bird control. So when they're competing with each other, they pick up a job. If one can do bird control and the other one can't, the one that can do the bird control has a chance of getting in there. So you see that all the time.
I mean, let's talk about Invisidy a little bit, okay? Tom and I have been doing Invisidy and with our products for years before anyone else ever came out for any other product. Now they have these other products out there that supposedly do the same type of thing, but they really don't. And they're not even cost effective as well, because I've had so many companies call me and say, yeah, we can't use this product anymore because it's just too costly. But our Invisidy mixed in with our product, sprayed, you know, in an area for acres, can really, you know, change.
Well, the key to it is, and when you break it down for people, it's about, you know, having a visual with a consequence.
Right.
So for many, many years, there's been tons of visuals out there. The owl, you know, the all kinds of different things.
Reflectors.
Yeah, all kinds of different things out there. They create a visual that birds are afraid of for a little bit of time because they're part of the food chain. So when they see something novel, they're afraid of it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then they get, you know, they're there all day long. They got all day long to pick, poke, and prod, and you know, yeah. As they get closer to something, nothing bad happens. The visual goes out the window. You know, right. Even if you move the visual around, you have to move it constantly. And after a while, the birds just are smart enough to know that nothing's happening. So the Invisidy, along with our UV paint, we create visuals, and then we give them multiple consequences. And the key is with the multiple consequence depends on where you are, what you're allowed to do, what you can't do. The customer lets you know. But if you have enough of those consequences, then you have success. Yeah. But the Invisidy is a great product.
Great product.
UV paint's a great product.
Great product too.
You know, and we get people calling up that want to just, hey, if I paint the UV paint on the balcony, we'll keep the birds away.
I've interested about that. We did a hotel down in Miami, and we had our hazers on the roof. We had a shocking system on the parapet, and it was inundated with blackbirds. Actually grackles at the time. And so we had the Invisidy lined up with everything, all the deterrents on the roof, and it worked really great. But the birds went down to the banisters down below. So the gentleman called me up about that, and I said to him, well, you know, this is what you're going to do. We're going to take the Invisidy, and we're going to put it on all the railings down below. And I think because the birds are going to associate the top with the bottom, they're going to associate the pain from the top with the Invisidy. So I think it'll work pretty good. And we did that. And the birds stayed off the railings, and they were really, really happy. Yeah,
we have guys doing it all the time. I get calls all the time. Although they'll treat certain areas of a building, and they use they use our tank mix or whatever the product is that they're using. They'll incorporate the UV paint and the Invisidy. And sometimes they'll just spray areas where there's no deterrent, but the birds can't tell.
Right.
And it just makes things so much easier.
Association process.
Yeah, it's strong. It's really strong. We did a car dealership last year where they had 40 light poles. Each light pole had like 3 to 4 lights on it, and they had birds sitting randomly throughout the parking lot, and they were just, you know, pooping on all the cars or constantly, you know, cleaning. And we had one of our customers approach us, but what could we do here? So I told them, I said, to do every light's going to be expensive. And they had, actually, we put in a quote to do, we came up with an idea. We're going to do half the lights, but we're going to paint all of them. So they wanted us to do it. And then I talked them into them doing it. So I drew a little diagram. It took about 6 or 7 FaceTime calls when they were up on a lift. And they got so they randomly put the shock tape on top of the light poles. It's solar charged,
Right.
didn't electric or anything. It took them 2 or 3 days once they got the hang of it. They sprayed all the poles, and like magic, the birds disappeared because they didn't know where they could or couldn't land.
Exactly.
Typical example of a visual with a consequence. So
That's it.
if you folks out there aren't incorporating a visual with a consequence through your bird control, you are maybe still getting some results, but you'll get way better results if you
Long-term.
follow that game plan. Yeah. And that's how you get the reoccurring too, because then you may do an initial installation, but then if you continue to spray monthly with the tank mix, that just reinforces it. It's like anything else. You have to treat birds like you do any other kind of pest. You do it monthly. You don't do it every 6 months, every 4 months, right? So that's the game plan. I think we learned that slowly.
I talk to people all the time about that when we go out to jobs, according to jobs. I said, your normal pest control guy is killing the ants, killing the mice, killing the rats. We're trying to move them.
Yeah.
And the rats and mice are still coming back.
Yeah, and we've still got people out there poisoning birds.
Right, I know.
They used to poison them to the point where they were falling out of the sky. Remember?
Yeah.
You get these random news stories of birds falling out of the sky. We knew right away what it was.
Yeah.
And now that particular scenario, they changed that a little bit where they do a pre-mix now, so the birds only get sick.
Right.
Which is, I guess there's a place for everything.
Of course.
I prefer not to harm birds if I don't have to.
No.
I don't mind catching a bird once in a while.
Yeah.
We have some mist nets. We relocate them. And I talked Paulie into catching a seagull with a drop net system that we had. We set up a drop net system where you can actually press a button and the net would drop from above. It was like a hula hoop with a net on it. And we actually tested it on my daughter Maria first. We put some kind of put food on a plate in the middle of the warehouse, and I dared her to get it and see if I could catch her with it. And I think we maybe caught her once or twice. She's pretty quick. But anyway, then we did it with you behind a shopping center where nobody was around, and we caught that seagull. And the first thing you said to me when you had this big old bird in your hand was, "This thing stinks terrible."
Worst smell. These gulls, they dive into old dumpsters.
Yeah. So we proved that we could catch it, but it's like, beware what you want to do, because all of a sudden we had this big stinky bird, and
It was a great shot, though.
it was a great shot. Yeah.
It was at least 40 feet away.
Oh,
45 feet.
That was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. But we've come up with a lot of products that just, we can build things, we can use them ourselves, but some of them just weren't marketable at the time, But it was still fun, some of the things that we
Funny,
did.
though. I had a lot of people, they called it, they're looking for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Drop net a couple times, the net gun.
Yeah, we did that for a while.
But that net gun was okay, but it was difficult to use.
Yeah.
To reload.
Well, I think that's where one of our strengths. If we see somebody doing something interesting, we don't necessarily want to copy it.
No.
We'll work with them, and if we need something, we can make it. But if we can find good partners, which we do have now, and throughout the industry, so we do have partners that work.
Well, that's one thing with our hazing units.
There,
the hazing units that when we first bought them, they all failed.
Yeah.
Leaked, and we had issues with that, and we created our own because we saw all the mistakes that were made.
you know what it is? It's so anybody can have a good idea, but to bring a good idea to fruition is a tough thing. And then you build something, the first generation is never going to be the right way.
Never.
So it takes 2 or 3 generations.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
So anyway, this has been a really good first podcast. Are you going to host one? I kind of hosted this one.
You did a great job.
But feel free. We're going to do probably one a week.
Okay.
So you're welcome to hop in or take my place anytime.
All right. Well,
I think you were a good guest.
Yeah.
Next time you got to come up with the joke.
All right.
All right.
You don't want my jokes.
These are recorded, but Rob can.
You can edit.
He can cut stuff out if we need to. Well, we don't know which way the direction of this podcast is going to go. We don't know if it's going to be straight lace or a little, because eventually we're going to invite callers.
Oh, really?
To call in with questions or have some live guests, and then we'll see how it goes, right? But it'll be fun. We'll teach some people a little bit about bird control, a little bit about us.
Yeah.
We're going to have the rest of the crew on one at a time, and we'll go from there.
All right. Sounds good.
Good deal, brother. Nice having you.
Thank you.
Till next time.